So we're from Radio Panik from Brussels in Belgium, and there's Suzie. Raise your hand.
Wait, maybe two participants. Audience, come back. No.
Lydia, Arthur. Myself, Fred. So what?
We just started, you can come.
We just started.
C'est workshop ici?
Ouais.
Ah bah voilà.
Non mais je vais voir toutes les installations. Au-dessus. Merci.
Mostly contrary to many people here at the conference, we are mostly users of free software, not developers. Still, we try to contribute in many different ways. We'll show about that during the talk. Also, it's a workshop, so don't hesitate to interrupt us. It can be quite interactive. So, the radio itself was born in '83 in Brussels. Nowadays, there are about 200 volunteers. 4 paid persons to work on partial time for the radio. Arthur is one of them. Our 3 are volunteers. So,
but this is all, yes. And it's a radio station.
Yeah, it's a radio station.
You're broadcasting on
broadcasting on FM mostly. On FM since '83 and on the internet since, I don't know, 2005 or 6.
Since the beginning of the internet.
We were quite late to the internet.
And it's, okay, you're going to explain more of the history or?
Yeah,
okay.
no.
Okay, then
just the history.
Then one question is university-related radio station or just?
No, it was born in a specific neighborhood in Brussels. In this neighborhood, there was and there is nowadays a lot of it's a multicultural population and lots of recent migration. And at this time, there was a stupid mayor who was kind of a racist guy, and lots of persons during in this neighborhood wanted to be together and express another way of thinking. Yes, so they decided to use media, a specific media, and at this time, radio with all this free radio movement. It was emerging, and that's why they use radio and they create Radio Panik at this time. And nowadays, it's always something, an important preoccupation for volunteers in Radio Panik to let people express themselves about social issues, political issues, environmental issues, and so on. But nothing linked to the university. There was another.
There's a radio linked to the university in Brussels, which is the radio campus. Nowadays, there's multiple free radio in Brussels.
And in the structure, it's important to say that this is all these 200 to 150 volunteers who are making the radio, all the radio program show, and even in the decision of the radio about technical stuff, about administration, about programs, about news program, and so on. And the little staff, the 4 half-part employees, are there to make connection between the groups of volunteers, and and everyone has to be autonomous in making his own radio show and participating in
the life
of the associations.
So if I want to join your radio station, I just can...
You just come to Brussels, you have to climb to the 5th level. And then there will be someone there.
Even if you have no knowledge with radio or with journalism, it's not a problem, and it's maybe something very interesting to mix people with different knowledge.
Yeah, it's quite easy to join. Yeah, both just think on the internet. So we're here, our FM transmitter is over there, which is like 1.5 kilometers from the radio. This all analog transmission. We use a Wi-Fi link between the radio and the top of the building there. We use OpenOB by James Harrison, who's a developer for free radio in England. And it's basically low latency opus codec over UDP. So we don't have. We used to use classic internet streaming tools, but it includes a delay of 3, 4, 5, 13 seconds. And it makes for something really strange when you're in studio and you arrange yourself with the delay. So we switched to OpenMB 2 or 3 years ago, 4 or 5 now. Well, it works very well, and it's written in Python using GStreamer. It's a small piece of software and it does its job very well. For the internet, we are using liquid soap to create the stream and send it on the server. The server is operated by Domaine Public, which is a small association in Brussels who provides free service or free servers to associations and individuals in Brussels. And they host a nice cast server, so we use that.
They host it also for others?
Yeah, they host it for us, for Radio Air Libre, which is another free radio in Brussels, and for many more temporary projects, like for an event where they need 2 or 3 days to stream, and they provide that. We have a website, and which is something we built using Django by ourselves. Podcasts. Podcasts are, well, like I just said, people are supposed to be autonomous. So every emission, every show has to cut, publish its podcast. Well, mostly we're volunteers, and we can't do automatically from start at sharp 2 to sharp 3 hours because people are starting late or finishing late. So we can't make a thing based automatically on the schedule, and we have to rely on people to cut and make their podcast by themselves. But we have some automatic processing with subs and mutagen to normalize the levels, to add metadata, picture of the show, and whatever. So there's some kind of uniformity on the website, on the podcast.
And website development, that was like free time, or was it part of the paid?
It's part paid, part free time. There was in 2011, 13, something like, well, part of the budget was allocated to the website project, and there was a team from people from the station and from the outside working together to kickstart that new website, and then it's mostly maintained by myself. Yeah. Well, for the technical side, all the editorial side is shared between everybody in the radio.
And you are using your own servers, or it's also on that?
Yeah, it's on my own personal server, this
Okay.
one, because it was much easier It was much easier to use my own, where I could do whatever I wanted. Because the domain public is still mostly living on what was created in 1907, and mostly web hosting for PHP projects and small websites you can upload. And for projects like Django and stuff, it's more difficult to use the domain public, so I just use my own server. Inside the studio, am I supposed to continue speaking, or one of you?
For this part, I'm sure it's the best.
Yeah, okay. So we have two studios, and they are analog studio. Well, of course we have a computer to do some stuff, but mostly we are using analog mixing table stuff. But we send all the analog signals to one computer. There we use a GRAME source and IP multicast to share and distribute the sound to the automatic recording, to the streaming server, to the FM transmitter. That's basically we have a jack running on the bare metal server, and then virtual machines using GRAME source and IP multicast to share the stuff. We have many different small things using inside the studio, like the switch between the studio and us on air is using some Arduino electronic and code. Well, it's like a very small project, but it allows for people in the studio to get on air or off, or to switch the radio automation on. It's a small project, but again, it's part of the using free software and building our own tools whenever we need that, or using whatever exists before. And Soma developed, and it's free software. It was developed in the radio and community radio in Italy in 2004-05. They came to Brussels during the festivals one summer, and we met them, and we were looking for that kind of software. So we adopted that software. We've been using it for 10 years now. They abandoned their own software 2 years later, so we are basically the only users of Soma in the world now. We don't even have a website for the project anymore. It's still partially in Italian and in English, but they don't translate it to French. That's the part of half-finished free software project you can find, but it works really well for our use cases, so we continue using it.
I have some more questions. So, the studio itself is used by every group, so or are there some people just saying, okay, I'll do it from home, or are they all coming to the place, and the place itself, it's the room is rented?
Most of the shows are done inside our studios. But there are people, there are some shows being recorded in the different places, or shows that are made on other radio that we broadcast. But mostly it's done in our studio.
And the room for the studio?
We have, so the 5th floor of the building, we have it for free. It's a public building, which is not well maintained, but was too badly maintained to be able to be sold by the authorities, so they let us live inside.
Yeah.
But live, work inside.
And it would get worse if there wasn't anyone in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know the situation.
So we're actually looking for another place because we're now 200 volunteers and more. It's a bit crowded by moments, and a bigger place would be nice. Also, we have more money now, and we could use some of that money for a better place.
Because it's about 120 square meters.
Well, not even. 100.
And it's too small. We can have 2 studios, but if we want to make some, if we want to have some meetings or to make some information, we have not a big local like this one.
Yeah, we don't have a meeting room.
I'm looking for this kind of specificity. Oh,
yeah. So that was inside. Well, there are some other stuff for recording automatically. We have to record everything for the authorities in case we say racist things or illegal things on the air, and we have to provide them for the recording if someone complains against us. Some legal stuff.
How long are you supposed to keep those archives?
For 3 months. So it was a legal obligation, and it still is a legal obligation. But keeping an archive and recording everything is also something very useful for ourselves.
Yeah.
So
you can say what you want.
sorry?
You haven't all liberty to say what you want.
No, we can say everything we want inside the framework of the law.
Yeah.
And there are some, for example, some things that are outlawed in Belgium and other cities and other countries. Like you can say good things about terrorism or burn all the buildings and kill cops or whatever. Kill cops, I think maybe
Isn't it also illegal to say something against the king from Belgium? Wasn't there something?
I think it's written. Yeah, maybe we cannot say.
I think there are restrictions around him as well.
Yeah, but mostly we do what we say, whatever we want.
And but the archive, you just need to have it on your own server. You don't have to
we don't have to.
And what format is it stored in the archive?
The archive is stored for 2 weeks. It's stored in FLAC.
All right.
Because it's mostly useful for us. We want it in FLAC. After 2 weeks, it's stored in Vorbis, like quality 5 or 6.
All right.
I cannot remember.
And is the conversion, is it automated or?
Yeah.
And what are you using for that? Is it Soma or?
No, it's some code using socks. I did someday.
Interesting.
The recording itself is done by liquid soap, which cut the files every 15 minutes.
Okay. And the transcoding, is it FFmpeg or something like that, or?
It's straight the flash command or the audio command.
All right.
Yeah, I cannot do SSH from the University network.
Oh, that's all right.
Outdoor.
flying.
Our flying studio, yeah.
What we call a flying studio. You talk about people making his own program outside of the radio. This is something we use since 2010 about. At this time, people in the radio wanted to cover a specific event in Brussels, It was an international meetings with lots of persons concerning about migration policies and what we called refugee or illegal refugee, we started to think about a studio we can take with us and going where the actions takes place. And so at this time Fred, some person, tested something. We will make some demo in a couple of minutes. But yes, this is a photo of the first live audio show outside of the studio in Fred's place, I think so. And it was in like 7 years ago, and it was quite difficult to use this system. Maybe you can describe software, firmware.
Yeah, the first one we just were using different tools. We used dark eyes for streaming. We used
I'm sorry, just to be clear, was this live streamed?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So it's from my flat. It's from some public place in
a bar
stuff. They still bar. Yeah. No beer on the bar. It may not be at home. So while we were using dark eyes for encoding the stream, we were using Jack EQ to mix.
To catch with radio?
Yeah, we actually.
Web, no?
Yeah, we are mostly FM radio. So we were streaming to one public server, and from the radio, we were using that stream to broadcast over the air. So it was Jack EQ. Jack EQ is like a jack mixer thing. We were using jack plumbing to automatically link jack port, input and output port. We were using meter bridge to keep an eye on the volume. We were using and we had an instruction sheet like first start QJack CTR, then start this one, then start again because you forgot to plug your sound card in. And it was 5 or 6 steps. It's different tools. We used that for a few years.
So if everything was okay, was fine, cool, but if something breaks or difficult for, remember we were talking about people who are developers, who are not programmers and so on. So I think 2 or 3 years ago we discovered free software called Internet DJ Console, which is a software you can mix audio files, music, jingle, sound, and stream very easily. So yeah, it looks like this. So there is 2 playlists, and well, we will do it next. But thanks to this, thanks to IDGC, we make lots of formation, and lots of people could use it very easily. And yes, it was 2 years ago, and there was lots and lots of flying studio during the year. So we could stream in a bar, in a park. We just need internet connection.
Actually, sorry, I was just wondering what is. So in a park, I guess you would use 3G connection.
Not at this time.
All right.
Well, yes, that's a good point. Forget
what
the parameter.
are the requirements, as far as download stream goes, or upload stream?
At this time, we need internet cable to Ethernet cable. But yes,
or some stable Wi-Fi. We made a lot of show using Wi-Fi to work mostly. But well, even if it fails 1 every 4 times, it's way too much. So well, Wi-Fi is not really an option for the outdoor studios.
But 2 years ago, a team of Radio Panik would like to make live streaming from a place where there was no internet during a zombie queer pride in Belgium, and we think about it, and we find well, we tried to use 3G router, and it works. So it was at this beginning that we can use it in a park and so on. We just need we can use a battery from the laptop, and we don't need electricity.
I guess you could also. So what's audio format and quality you're using when you're on a flying rig? Because I guess you could always downsample the quality for voice at least. It's no biggie, right?
Yeah, we did that a lot. Then for starting at some level, we're not just talking, so we have to have some music. On the low bitrate stuff, the music just very bad. So we wanted something else than just lowering the quality.
And to use to make radio like before, transistor, a signal.
Yeah,
you don't need internet for that.
Yeah, well, that's something for you were not there. The beginning, and I lost my mouse. Well, the radio studio is here, and the FM transmitter is over there. So we had an analog signals, and we don't have internet between this place and that place.
Yeah.
So it works, but you have to see the place.
Yes.
When you're in a building 100 kilometers away, you pretty much depend on the internet.
To make a local one.
Yeah,
I say that we could do that.
Yeah, but
for a game.
We don't run our cables for 100 kilometers just for 1 hour of the show. We don't have enough volunteers to do that.
And so flying studio, and after 3G router we test with a smartphone, with a SIM card and an application which is called Cool Mic, and with this specific tools we can be very mobile. So we stream live during a demonstration on a bike. So everything is possible if you get a 3D signal.
You did a show on a bike?
Yep.
That's very cool.
Doing 3 or 4 kilometers, I think so.
Wow, that's very nice.
Without lots of time now. It was very, very funny to do. That's all for the flying studio. And yes, we document every specific configuration of this flying studio, because depending of how many microphone you want, how many line inputs. So if you want to be mobile or not, with or without electricity, with or without internet. So everyone from Radio Panik can just read and manual instruction and have some information about it.
Yeah, and we're working on that document, making a real document, making real instructions and stuff, using that to publish for more people. For now, it's mostly internal use, and try to draft things from.
Yep.
And people are using their own PCs, so the groups, or they take a PC from the studio, like a laptop from the studio? Or?
We have a few laptops for, in the radio for people already configured, but we also made several workshops to so people could install the software on their computers. With computers, at first was quite difficult because we had that diversity of custom scripts and small application. With IDGC, it was really much easier, but it was still running on Linux and macOS maybe, not even more. But now, for its CodeMic, for its people just have Android smartphone, and it's just an application. And it's even more easy now for people to start using their own hardware.
But let's make a demonstration.
Yeah, actually you make my job easier, guys. All is plug. Actually, do you have ADGC on your laptop?
It's not configured.
So yeah, as I say, the lighter configuration and setup of Flying Studio is just with a smartphone, CIEREC converter to convert the signal to a smartphone, and the Zoom because there's a sound card on it. And so you use 6 inputs and going everywhere with, and you can play music with a smartphone. So it's easy. For this time we have the software IDGC. Someone know it already? Okay. Okay, so when you open it, you have to load your tracks or your jingle on it with this button. And to be sure, first of all, as I say, is to know if you have internet. So you should to figure out how to do. Here is the Wi-Fi, so that's pretty okay. And it's not a real radio show, so that's good. Also, so you have a sound card. So for this setup, this sound card, you need to select microphone, is an audio interface, and in stereo mix. On the Zoom, you can select on the menu. Then you plug so the microphone you need. For example, this one is plugged. Any gears you have, whatever. And the laptop is also plugged. If you want to stream and to record, you have some folder on the preset you have. Okay, I should have it. So, so you can select the folder you want to record your radio show. Information flow means if on your stream, when you streaming online, you want to say, oh, like a radio show, special show, you can name on it. You also select the address, and that's pretty much everything on this. And then you say you need to select flux for the stream and DJ to play tracks and have the mic. And when it's done, this part of it.
Yeah, the stream is a bit small.
I don't know how to do. Yeah. So you have two yeah, controllers. So yeah, it's not loud.
Yeah, it's not configured, but because what?
This
You need to have internet, but our streaming server cannot be reached from the university network. So,
so it's not
Do you
a
see
real one.
le mot de passe?
yeah, it doesn't work.
But probably it's a domaine public.
No, but
so-
actually it's
Il y a un mot de passe, un mot sur
Ouais, mais en fait, on peut pas sortir sur le port
Ouais,
winil.
d'accord.
Et puis,
C'est
so yeah, you play track, and so if you stream this song will be in green, you have a level of your signal, and when you're recording, it's one of this, the one you're selecting, and also when you want to talk with the mic and stop the music, for example, yeah, you have faders, so you can do it properly. You just click on the mic and you can speak on the phone.
Yeah, it's one.
Hein?
C'est ma carton qui est branchée dans l'ordi, c'est pas le Zoom.
Okay, so nothing works.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can, but we can maybe just unplug this to plug on the. Okay, so no, so it's supposed to be a signal, but we're not streaming, so I don't know. Yeah, we have the signal, but not here. So it's pretty fake. But yeah, so you open it for the mic, and you don't need to switch it off all the time, but you can leave it, or you just fade out the sound from the mic when you play music, to be sure it's not at the same time. It can be a mess at some point, just be careful. And that's pretty much it. Be sure, for us it's really important to be sure we are online, so we can see on the main public when it's working, when the stream is working. It's not only about that sign, it's also a sign, but different way to check. And most of the time we have someone with just analog radio on the phone, just to check outside if it's working well or not. And to be sure, we start before, and we have a soundtrack running when the studio, the flying studio, is starting on our studio. When it's programming to start at 10 AM, for example, we need to have music, and then when it starts 1 AM and 1 minute, we start the jingle, and we're sure we are on the time and not before. There is a bit of delay, so we need to not be surprised when people are checking online or on the stream. What else?
Have you measured the latency?
10, 50 seconds?
Yeah,
That's very
10 or
fair.
30 or...
That's very fair.
Yeah, but just, I would have
no
said
more
30.
delay like we have, like usually the time is running. So.
But it also depends on the punctuality of the people, right? So
Yeah, punctuality is not the same delay.
yeah.
We're here to be here.
It's good to have the jingle just in case.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
a safe
I need to say something.
Yeah, actually the technical delay is less of a problem than the human delay. So we didn't measure it.
Yeah,
Which you are always on direct? In direct? No?
Most
The
of
radio is always in direct?
yeah, well, mostly the flying studio are made to do things live.
Only live.
yeah, and that's it pretty much. So
Yeah, we,
if you have questions about the streaming, that's the time.
It's with Icecast, no?
yeah, it's streamed to a nice cast.
Icecast.
And the software, so
You need a good server, no? For that, if you want to configure yourself with Icecast.
Icecast is quite light by itself. The thing it needs is enough bandwidth for many people to connect. If you want 500 people to persons to connect to your stream, you need to have the bandwidth for that. Actually, the hashcast server we're using from domain public in Brussels has a limit on 200 persons, which is like I can't remember the bandwidth they have, but what 200 persons is quite enough for a community radio, like I said, for now. Mostly our listeners are using the FM broadcasting, so it's fine.
Also, another tools we're using to check the connection, internet connection, to be sure it's enough to stream. It's called testmy.net. So you go there and you test upload speed, and you need to have 1 megabyte minimum to be sure it will not shut down at some point. If it's internet, it's enough. If it's Wi-Fi, it's always the same problem. So we get different tools to do different check.
The software, the Internet DJ console,
yeah,
it's working for you like it is, or you made bug reports, improved the software yourself? Don't know.
Mostly we've been using it as is. Yeah, yeah, it was quite a good discovery. The software we had some pitch at one point for some things with our sound card. I can't remember those things from with the premix and stuff. But it was in the end it was not even necessary. We could configure it the way we wanted. So yeah, that's definitely the thing we suggest for people who want to stream it. It's easy. You can. Yeah, just like you say, there's 4 channels. There are the 2 DG channels, then the DG and aux tracks. So you can do pretty much everything with it. And everything is contained in one screen. You can check your network, your streaming status for the screen. Yeah, you can. It can record the show. That's something we didn't have when we were doing everything by ourselves before. We always forgot to record the show, and the connection would drop, and everything would shut down, and we had to restart and lose 5 minutes of show. I know. And it's really much better now. Thanks to DGC.
Yeah, and the one point important is also to check to select the good preference. Is select the what? Yeah, where we can select the sound card we're choosing. Sometimes it's just select by default the laptop one, and you're using a sound card, so you need to check.
But it's using jack, right?
Yeah, and you're running QJack
so,
first.
So you have to configure jack properly beforehand. I guess you could not change the sound cards on the fly. You would have jack crashing all over the place, right?
Excuse
me. If you wanted to change the sound card, you would have to shut down the whole system.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that's in QJack.
Yeah.
You're right.
I was more thinking about here and here.
Yeah.
That's a pre-mobile, so you know to.
Yeah, that's mine.
Okay. I thought it was the USB when it's something different, than there is not so much options usually. I don't remember that. So the USB one is a good one when you plug it by USB.
Yeah, just that USB is fine.
Yeah.
USB audio is typically what you would have. like my USB.
But that's really fun when it's working.
And I was also wondering about the mobile application you're using on Android. Is it open source as well?
Yeah, it is.
And sorry, you probably mentioned the name, but for some reason.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is it, and where did you find it? Is it like on F-Droid or something?
It's not on F-Droid, but you can, the APG file can be downloaded from the website.
Alright.
Actually, they did have that, they stopped doing that when they started publishing on Google Play. We asked them politely to have it to have their APG, and they published it. And it works quite fine. It's in the. It's been requested on F-Droid, but it's not yet there. Well, I can stream my phone. It's on my phone. Well, it's quite basic. You just have a start stream button.
Yeah. And so is the application doing the transcoding as well?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's.
So I guess you have to have a pretty decent smartphone for it to work properly, right?
Those things are way too powerful for phone. So.
All right. Okay.
That's the cheapest thing.
Because I always thought, transcoding would be the.
It's like 80 euro.
Okay. All right. So that's an 80 euro radio mobile studio.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. The thing is, they do have dual microphone and input and output mini jack.
Oh yeah.
And that's a bit of a problem, but because it's
you use
it's supposed to have a headphone, and you need an adapter to switch from TRRS for TRRS, which is the number of stripes on the mini jack. But there's, I don't know how much, just one. You can build it yourself, or you can buy some for.
Yeah, you could do it yourself for very cheap.
Or for 10 euro you can buy one for a minute.
Yeah, I guess so. And but then when you're using that, everything you're inputting is mono, I guess.
Yeah.
But the application can stream in stereo, right?
The application streams in stereo. Yeah.
Okay, so the music is still stereo, but any voices coming in is mono.
Yeah. Actually, it's done. The thing is, mostly we send music from something else, from the Zoom, so it gets on mono too.
Right.
I'm not sure you can play music from the smartphone.
Oh, okay.
Or what? Well, we never do that anyway. So.
Okay, so the music is streamed in mono as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
But maybe it works. I don't know why.
And is the application? Is there any like fancy stuff like noise cancellation or stuff like that on the application, or is it just straightforward streaming application with no bells and whistles?
It's quite basic.
All right. Okay.
But they're developing it. They did not have a view meter when we started using it. They do have one now. So they keep on developing it. They won a Kickstarter campaign to for a few features, and it worked. Well, it was like.
Is it a large team that is doing this cool mic stuff?
1 or 2%.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It's. So that's for outdoor studio. And something else we've been making, Lydia? I'm not sure. Oh. Who's doing that?
Yeah. So we have different tools, and it's quite easy in Radio Panik to get skills and to practice also. So. Because of the terrorist attack in March 2016, at some point we decided to express ourselves. No goal, just to express, to do stuff. And step by step we start with playlists and tools and DIY and macro piezo and noise and psalterion, and then start instruments and different tools. So We are around 10 episodes at the moment. The next one will be tonight on the amphitheatre. And
will it be streamed live?
No.
no,
Oh.
not that one. But usually we stream it on live.
All right.
There is no goal, and then step by step we decide to get a topics on it. So all depend about the mood at the moment. We can talk about freedom and oppression, and we can talk about apocalypse if we if we feel that. Also schools. And last time we were in Doul, in a small city close of nuclear station. So it's an empty city, pretty much squat for years, and now it's not allowed to squat. So you can visit, like in a safari, people, 2 or 3 people still living there. And it's a lot of graffiti, so we went there and we had all our gears, and we made a radio show, and by chance cops came at the end of the show, so it was pretty fun because we were not arrested, so that's okay. And yeah, so anytime we're starting by something to say without goals, and each time is a new goal for us. Is just to learn to make our own gears, kind of stuff. We're making. Arthur is pretty into it, and he introduced us to how to make ourselves. Is not that expensive. Is not that complicated, but you need to be into it at some point.
And we find circuits on the internet, and we just take a solder, and just connect resistors, capacitors, and sometimes it works.
So we're using also free software as Audacity to make jingles or to cut or put some effects on some records we have on the street, for example, and then we put just some random effect and we play it like an app behind other noise, so it's not really structured, but still fun for us. And Frederic joined the group maybe 2 months ago in April.
Yeah.
And so it came through her head to develop, obviously in your head, in his head, to develop another tools on the free software to just get samples on this pad or any pad you have, and you can just start any sample we have done before just by pushing a button. It was way easier than to do again or to use again another laptop. So it was really easier. So
can you show us?
Yeah. My movie. Yeah.
Nice.
So
yeah.
vas-y.
I have to speak a little bit.
Yeah, show us.
Yeah. Actually, the request was made to start samples with something simple. We had some nano controller on the radio. I looked at whatever was existing and didn't find much easy to install or easy to explain. So I looked around. Discovered there was this web MIDI. You could now use MIDI event in a browser, so I used that opportunity to try that, and made for something very basic but working. I'm looking for some stuff. Yeah, just name your further appropriately.
I wouldn't have dared to go on such a name folder.
Yeah, XXX. It's yet another. It's yeah. What is this one? And well, basically you load samples and then you can use the pads to start the. And you can start several.
Non mais va te faire foutre, pour qui tu me prends? Non mais je suis pas ta bonne, hein. Si tu veux te faire un œuf, c'est qu'à te faire cuire tout seul.
Non, il n'y aurait jamais jusqu'au bout. Il y a encore la lienne, et puis après il y a les profiteroles.
There's web MIDI and there's web audio, so you can add some delay feedback. You can build your own effects from the browser, and also you can route this stuff to Jack and use all the usual stuff.
So is the web part is just used for the GUI or?
No, it plays the sounds. It does everything.
Okay, but how do you interface with Jack then?
It's used Pulse Audio, and I use the Pulse Audio to Jack.
Okay, yeah, true Pulse Audio. All right, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so I just put what? It's not.
Yeah, because
but I wrote Pulse Audio to
Okay.
Because what? First, there are many existing effects in Jack that I don't want to code in web audio. I'm not even able to do it. At some point, it would be nice to, it would be theoretically possible to build LV2 plugin with an LVM to JavaScript bytecode, maybe something like that, but it would be slow. Interesting for the technical idea, but not useful. So using the existing stuff is fine and much easier. But you can do fun stuff.
And how's the latency using that? Actually, when you trigger the pad, is it more or less responsive?
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. I think the problem. For example, it's not a big problem if you like do synthesis inside the browser, then you get into the real-time issues.
And everything is working locally. There's no upload of the files.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And both are.
Why didn't you use fast?
Yeah.
Okay. But I guess it wouldn't be too hard to also do it in fast.
Yeah, the thing is, we don't have, it was quite difficult to have internet access here or in the auditorium, and I could just copy one HTML and JavaScript file from my laptop to a key to a laptop running Chrome on Windows or whatever else, and it would work.
Yeah.
And this multi-platform, easy to copy thing that works with, that's quite impossible. In Radio Panik, as well, I've been mostly developing in Python and GTK for application, for a few. The tools we made before were mostly done in Python and GTK and GStreamer or straight Jack or Jack and C. That was my first time using web audio, web MIDI, and it worked very well. And it has many advantages. So it depends on the tool, but for many tools I think it works quite well.
I have another question.
Yeah.
So but it's a very non-technical question. You developed all this during your working hours?
No.
Oh, right.
Yeah, but during my working hours,
really?
but my day job is not doing that.
Yeah. So yeah. My question was, are you getting paid to do all the noise and stuff? All right. That's a pity, because that looks fun.
Yeah, but it's just a reason to do it for free. Yeah. My day job is being a developer, but for serious stuff. I just use my free time for this.
All right.
All my free time, yeah. And so that was Lacomme, and it's free software. So I like Niveau 5. It's a place for experiments. Where so last time, or the one before the last, we used audio. There's Axolotl, which is a small electronic board where you can develop effects or plug captors and sensors and stuff. We bought one for the radio and we start experimenting with it for the next show or the one after one. Now there are many ideas and many things you can do. That's a bit of the goal of the show. Having fun. So, yeah. One last word about licensing. I don't know if you want to speak. Because, yeah.
Yes, because it's a radio and we make our own productions. I just have some questions for you. Some of you play music, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you use free software to make music to mix?
Yeah, sure.
And after, when you create something, is it under copyright or copyleft?
Copyright mostly, as far as I'm concerned, unfortunately.
So why?
Copyleft.
Because we use a lot of free software, as we told. And the question is, you use lots of free software, and then after your creation has to be free or not. For us, we haven't any kind of license on our production, but maybe we should.
No license.
I'm sorry, you're not licensing.
But just think about it.
You're not claiming any licensing for your shows.
For a long time, there was no place on the website to mention a specific license for the show, so we didn't ask for all the show on Radio Panik. Whichever license they wanted, so it was basically copyright.
Oh yeah, do whatever the fuck you want license.
Yeah. It's just been a few weeks, we now ask people which license they want.
Actually, isn't what does the law states in Belgium regarding shows and productions such as radio shows?
It's a creation, so it's the same as.
Okay, so if that's
if you don't say anything, it's copyright.
Yeah. By default it is. So yeah, unless stated otherwise, it means that you're under copyright license. Well, copyright laws.
But my question is for you, for example, you play music, you use free software, and then after you put copyright just as default, or because you want it to be under copyright?
Well, the reason I use copyright instead of copyleft is because the album I released, I wasn't the only person that had author's right on the material that was released. And the other person wanted it to be, wanted his right over the songs to be dealt by the SABAM, which is the Belgian, for those who don't know, Belgian Authors Society. so basically, it would have meant that some percentage of my songs would have been managed by Saban, but the rest would have not been, which would have been a preposterous situation.
In this case, you don't have really the choice.
No, exactly. And also, the problem with copyleft is in Belgium there is no way to enforce copyleft because Author Society they don't work with those type of licensing. Where, for instance, in France, I know they had a pilot program where they would help artists that want to have their music under Creative Commons music, but there are no such thing.
You don't need to. I understand what you're talking about. In France, they create something with the SSM and Creative Commons. For me, it's just la poudre de perlimpinpin.
Fake.
Yes.
It was a very small scale at first, but I mean, for an artist, when you've invested thousands of euros in studio time and rehearsals and whatnot, and yeah, your music, it's well known, and you want to build a fan base, you want to address a large audience. Obviously, radio and TV and those type of means are what you would be aiming for, those type of mediums. So I guess on Radio Panik you don't have advertisements, or do you? No, okay. So that's one thing, and that's very cool. Props to you guys for running like that. But I mean, I would like my music to be broadcasted on national radio. That would be awesome. But then if they do this broadcast my music, I would also like to have a small share of what they're earning broadcasting my music. And it's also, and you could have that with Creative Commons licensing, because there is a parameter in non-commercial. When you're licensing under Creative Commons, you could state, I don't want you to use my creative material for any commercial purpose without my authorization. So it's perfectly compatible with copyright. It's just that no Author Society wants to work with that.
Ça n'empêche pas.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just that's why it's so sad, because Saddam doesn't want to work with that. And actually there aren't that many. So that's why I was saying, I think it's a nice effort from SACEM, even though it might not be the best idea, the best setup. It just, at least they're doing something.
So what is the difference between free software and music? In fact, people who develop free software, and maybe for some people they have to work and to have money. As you said, maybe you prefer to get paid for your music at the moment.
Yeah, well,
like that,
it is very different, because the reason for free software, so the four parameters that make any software free, the intention behind it was not solely about sharing the software. It was also about being able to access the code for study purposes, for instance. So there could be different reasons for which you would want the software to be open source or to be free or libre, since we had this discussion this morning. But for music, if you wanted your music to be completely libre in the sense of open source software, you would need also to release, for instance, stem sources. So each track separated before mix and stuff like that, which obviously is not required for Creative Commons. And actually, it's something that has been discussed a lot. The fact that Creative Commons is not considered libre in the sense GPL license is. So, for creative purposes, I really appreciate Creative Commons, and I would love to be able to put my music under copyleft. But it's not. It's really apples and pears type of situation. Software and music or art are two completely different beasts.
Yes.
But it's not a debate.
Yeah, I'd be glad to get one discussion.
We play music on the radio because it's a radio, and we would like to play more music under copyleft. And we said maybe you put the copyright because it's easier to be played on a national radio?
It's not that it's easier. It's just if you want. So if they're earning money on your music, maybe you think it's okay and it's swell and you don't want any share of that. But I wouldn't consider it to be evil if you would just want to ask a share of of the money they're making using your music, you know. And the problem with the fact that author society doesn't recognize or don't want to work with copyleft licenses is that so you could have your music being under Creative Commons and have your music being broadcast on national radio or television. The problem is your music will not be represented by Saban or SACEM or whatever, and then you're not eligible to ask because they don't want to treat with you personally.
But you said author society doesn't recognize.
They don't want to work with it. Yeah.
But maybe you could not recognize this author society too.
But then most of the industry that works in collaboration with the author society would not want to work with you because there are no services. For instance, at FDBF there are no services where you could just call them and say, okay, I content my music was broadcasted 12 times, so you owe me 20 euros. They don't work that way.
Sometimes, perhaps there is in industry, a group of music sometimes he works with a producer, and the producer works with a lot of people, with the government, with help from him, from the SACEM, and they have money to help artists to create. And it's all a big industry and a big machine, with a lot of people working. And I think it's because that they can get away with a very marginal alternative, which is good to be alternative too. It's another way.
That software's world is not a big industry in this one, too? I don't understand the difference. You speak about alternative. Free software are alternatives. And why in the music we can't...
it is very marginal also, free software.
Because
it's alternative, it's very marginal also.
There are many
people use free software.
There are many different ways you could... Sorry.
It's also it's not common, it's not used, so it's not so common.
Free software.
Yes, it's
but you are here.
It's more appeals in that
and
way.
you use this kind of software.
But there are many different ways you can benefit.
For example, me, I make music, but I don't need copyright, I don't need to live with music. But after I see musicians, and sometimes I can say all of them, okay, bullshit with all the society, with this. Sometimes they have a way, they. No, je dis I understand what you say. It's hard to. There is these two ways. No, you think it's very two ways, very different. Between make music for yourself, you have time. Sometimes you have the time. You don't have the ambition to live with your music, so you can make music. Like free software, because free software is a little the same. There is a lot of people who make free software, but they don't win money in that.
So
or very less. No?
So the difference is just the money, because for me, the copyright stuff in music, there is an amalgam. Between you have money with your copyright stuff and a salary. Do you understand what?
The problem number two.
You can't live with your copyright stuff.
No, obviously, but I mean the problem is once in the artistic domain, whenever you go copyleft, the problem is you have 100% certainty that your whatever creation will never bring anything back as far as money is concerned. And maybe if that's what you're intending for your music, that's alright. I had some music that I released under Creative Commons, just not my main project. I did not. And the reason, firstly, was because I was collaborating with people that wanted it to be copyrighted. But to be frank, I would be glad to have a share of whatever broadcasting I get out of my music. Now, regarding free software, on the question of earning money with the work you've put into your project, be it software or art, if you ask, for instance, Richard Stallman, if every code has to be under GPL licensing or free licensing, what are the ways to make money out of your activity as a developer? One answer he very often gave was that you could just do freelancing for tailored work, for specific demands. So writing GPL codes, but on just comments that you will have from clients, instead of writing a general software that would be used by thousands and thousands, just having specific tailoring demands about software you're writing, like probably a bit in the same sense as Paul Davis is having with hardware is getting paid, I guess, by Mixbus to develop the software in a certain direction. So that is an acceptable way of earning money with a GPL software, following Richard Stallman's views. And I don't see any way you could have that with music. Maybe for very specific demands like ads and maybe probably not even sure for a movie or those type of things.
So I think the advantage of free software is much more immediately visible to people, because, well, if you can see what's inside the code, you can take it, improve it, and put in music under Creative Commons if you don't have the source files. Well, it's nice because you can play it on the radio without paying licenses, but the advantage for me as a user, it's also nice because I can download it for free. But with software, there's another level, because maybe I don't know, your life can depend on the software that is running on your medical machines. And if it's open source, it's definitely better, because there are more than just a company who can inspect the code. With the Creative Commons art stuff, it's nice, but I guess people are not, the dimension is a different one. It's not so critical, maybe. But anyway, I'm pretty much for Creative Commons licensed stuff. But then you also play licensed music, so you pay shares to the Sabam?
Yeah, we do.
Okay. And the free music that you play, where do you find it? Or how do you find it?
Sorry?
The free music that you play, how do you find it?
You can find different platforms. Free Music Archive, Jamendo.
Music, I guess.
The
Are you making donations to those platforms or the free artists you're broadcasting?
We made it with Free Music Archive, I think so.
Alright.
But not each year. Yeah.
Because that would be only fair regarding the ethic you were talking here about. If you're paying, Saddam for whatever licensed music copyright music you're broadcasting, that would only be fair.
Yeah. In fact, we pay Saddam, but we don't give a playlist.
And then
so that means that, for example, you, okay, I play your music, I play your music in our radio, and we play Saddam, and you are in the Saddam stuff, and you will never have one.
No, I know. I was just about to ask, why don't you give the
they don't ask for it anymore because they couldn't process it. Because they don't have anything automatic. So they started to okay, well, all the radio, all the small radio, we'll just make our own panel, and we suppose they are the author, they are
it's just terrible because they have this amount of money every year that's they're redistributing to big name artists.
Yeah.
Because they just have the assumption that you might have played that like any other radio would have. Which exactly means that small time artists, you don't get anything, because for my last album, well, all the broadcasting I had was on community radio, local radio, and yeah, I don't expect any money to come back from there. But that's very unfair.
Yeah, they changed that 5 years ago. Before that, you had to give them sample playlists every 3 months, I think. And they stopped doing that because they couldn't process it, and they started doing their own samples of those are the people who worthy of our money. It's not true.
It's more expensive for them to control what you do.
Actually, for many years we didn't publish podcasts, or we had to cut the music part from our podcast because we were not allowed. They had some they wanted some money for they want money for FM broadcast, they want money for internet streaming, and they wanted even more money for podcast. It was quite a lot of money they wanted. We went to meet them, to remind them we were a small radio. Couldn't we vote a deal with them, and we pay them a bit more, and we could publish more podcasts. And they were quite honest with us, as they didn't have any way to control whatever podcast people were publishing. They even said that it would be unfair to us if they asked us to pay more. So they just told us to publish our podcast with music and to not be controlled for 1 or 2 years. It was like 5 years ago. They said they would use an intern during the summer months to do that stuff. They don't care much about us. Historically, they take their due for FM and streaming. We are forced to pay them, but it's not doing any good for the author we are broadcasting. It's quite arbitrary. Doesn't make much sense.
I have some more questions. I don't know if you have still slides.
No, we just have an invitation for you.
Oh.
For tonight. Because we will play tonight. 11? Or
10 p.m.
10 p.m? Oh, yeah. So what? You're welcome, and it will be fun.
And the license Army, c'est quoi? Les licences Army. Comment? Les licences Army. C'est bien ça ou pas?
It's a copyleft license. It's good if you want to play.
Sorry, I don't know the license. In what way is it different from Creative Commons, or?
It's basically like Creative Commons, attribution, and share alike. It's basically a copyleft license made by who was it? Antoine. What's his name? Was some artist in France. The author of the license Army.
Oh.
So it's why. C'est Antoine quelque chose de la génération.
Le lièvre de Mars.
Il y a le livre de Mars aussi,
So it's like SA, CC by SA, non-commercial, or?
No, just by SA.
CC by SA, alright.
Which is the copyleft, the most copyleft Creative Commons license.
Well, you could always rip the by part. Because I guess for
they do have a by part in every license.
Does GTL has a by part equivalent?
I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. CIEREC, obviously.
Yeah, CIEREC, yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought the funding of the radio, how is it funded? And
nowadays we were recognized as a popular education association because we do education, educational stuff. It's been 5 years now. And that's the way we can pay a few part-time jobs.
But you get money from the members of your.
We do have for 20 years it was money from the members of the radio. For 10 years, almost 10 years now, every free libre radio has something like 15 to 20,000 euros a year, depending if they have advertisement on that. If they are also doing internet streaming, they get more. Every radio gets that. And we have this popular education stuff where we have to, where we can have some part-time jobs, more money for things. So.
And the contracts for the part-time jobs, they run for more than a year, and then because you can plan ahead, or it's just a yearly?
Sorry?
The contracts, your contract, it's a yearly contract, or it's 3 years?
Yeah, indeterminate, yeah.
Because the state actually states that you will receive money
for 5 years.
For 5 years. Yeah. But how well? If you know you.
Yeah, well, we don't know if whatever will happen in 5 years. So
we have to make some reports.
That was obviously a really big discussion when the radio accepted to decided to go that way. Yeah. Because we don't want to stop or to be forced to stop because they would stop giving us money. Of course we will have to do things differently if they cut the money. But we will do things differently. We've been doing things differently for 20 years before the money, and we're pretty sure we can do it again. And we were pretty sure we wouldn't have to change our ways for this money, and we would change the way the administration would look at the report. The administration would have to agree with our way of doing it instead of us modifying our ways. So I was one of the skeptics about the money. Well, I'm still there and the radio is still there. So I can't tell the radio I told you so, it was a bad idea.
How long has it been since you received those funding?
5 or 6 years now.
So it has already been renewed?
Yeah, it's been renewed. Yeah.
So there was a time when you didn't have employees?
There was always
not at the start.
Sure?
Yeah.
Sure. Pretty sure. I think there was always, at the beginning, 1 person half-time, then 2 half-time for a long time. Maybe 2 years without employees.
Yeah,
it was really,
I was not there at the start. No.
And
nobody was there at the start.
So I guess it's easier to operate if you have people getting paid for it, because all the bad things somebody has to do and you have to do it.
Yeah, he has to do it.
I see. I know the situation.
But it's important. Sorry, it's important to I think our structural employees are here to help people and volunteers being autonomous.
Yeah.
But because
that's already if you only do it in your free time and you want to organize people and to attract people for your free project, it's freaking hard nowadays, depending on the project that you do. And then it's good to have somebody getting paid who's doing the organizational stuff, just asking people, okay, you have a show next week, don't forget. And if they forget, to tell them, oh, you forgot.
Yes, and I can be there and just, we've got an example, Suzie just ring a bell during a day, and well, twice. The first time I was there and I can just open the door and discuss with her, and now she's volunteers. Because I am paid to be 27 hours a day, a week.
Wow.
There and just to take the phone, to open the door, and to speak about how does the radio work. But maybe some volunteers can do it with permanent, but well, I think people want to make radio. And not do the administration stuff.
Sure. Good project.
Thank you.
Thank you.